Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Smart Contact, where smart people come to contact crypto. My name is Jonathan. If you like making money in crypto, then welcome to the club. And if you think that there is more to crypto than making money, then hit the like button, ding the little bell, and hit subscribe all so we can get this content out there and get this channel off the ground. And nothing I say here is financial advice. You can check out my song, Didn't Sell the Top. I'm not in a position to give financial advice, but I'm working on it. But we're in this together. We're going to make it together. Now, this is going to be my 5 things video of the week. And there's also some pretty exciting news I'm going to share with you near the end. So today, we're going to be going over the market a little bit, talking about Ukraine, because as long as that's still going on in Europe, we're going to talk about it in our 5 things video. We're going to talk about Theta, Sony, which ties into our beloved Jasmine. We have Elizabeth Warren at it again, and believe me, I have more content coming out on politicians and their views on crypto, and she's going to be at the top of the list. We got an Elon Musk / Twitter update, very interesting. And then we're also going to talk about North Korea. Always fun. And so, as you know, I'm your journalism / rock and roll guy that's been obsessed with crypto for the past year. I also know a thing or two about customer service. So let's dive right in. It's pretty late today, but I'm not going to miss a week. 1 or more videos a week as of now. And so here we go. We're going to start off with the story on Ukraine. Okay, so this is really all for tomorrow, really just a few hours from now, because today is Sunday, May 8th, Doge Day. So May 8th was Doge Day. But I'll get into that in a minute. So what's going on in Ukraine tomorrow is actually going on in Russia. Russia has their Victory Day tomorrow, where they commemorate whenever they beat the Nazis in World War II. And because don't forget, Russia did sacrifice more soldiers than any other country. They were pivotal in us beating the Nazis. By us, I mean the Allies. And so all that's true, and it's a good thing to celebrate. Now, Putin is saying that the Ukrainians are Nazis. And so we're wondering, and he's also been recently talking about nuking England or nuking the oceans around England, or maybe not him specifically, but some Russian leaders. And so tomorrow, if he says anything about intensifying a new wave of attacks, or he says anything about a nuclear bomb, then that could be very bad for the markets and everybody else on the planet. Now, if he says, we have won the war, the Nazis are gone, and we are going to pull out, that would be incredible for the markets. Even our beloved Bernie Sanders, who is pretty much right about everything, even whenever it's not what we want to hear, he's even said that peace would be a boost for the markets, and in a good way, in a healthy way. And so that would be the best case scenario. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be because they always have a bunch of troops, a bunch of tanks, the Air Force as a display of their might on this holiday. So I'm hoping it's just kind of a nothing-ish burger, that, I mean, it's just another day. They're not, if we were in war on 4th of July, we probably wouldn't make everything different on the 4th of July or Veterans Day or Memorial Day. It's just a day. So hopefully just being a holiday, a military holiday, isn't enough to make him do a rash decision. And that's kind of what I think it's going to be. And I think nothing would be okay for the markets because they have been tanking so bad. I think we are looking for some relief. And I do have a little article here, little quote from it. And this is from Al Jazeera, or the news source. Where they compare June 22nd of 1941 to 9/11. So based on that, it would be kind of like if we were in war in the Middle East and 9/11 rolled around, we'd be like, oh, are they gonna nuke us because it's 9/11? But hopefully cool, we wouldn't change all of our plans because it's 9/11. I don't know. I don't think that's likely. Um, it's the moment when Russia felt massively invaded by a country that had declared that all Slavs were less than humans. And this was an existential war for Russia. So, that's something to hear, something to know about. I heard that there were Russian soldiers, and they lined up execution style a bunch of Ukrainians in a small town, and they were screaming at these civilians, "Where are the Nazis? Where are the Nazis?" And they're just like, I don't know. They were there in the 30s, and in the wars, and some of the Ukrainians did side with the Germans at the very beginning because they came in as liberators. Ukraine was not doing well under Soviet rule, but very shortly after, Kiev was known as a hero city, along with Moscow and another Russian city, as ones that sacrificed so much to defeat the Nazis. And not to mention Vladimir Zelensky, their president, is Jewish. Definitely they're not there right now to stop Nazis. That's a lie. Now let's go on to our second story here. And this is going to be about Theta and Sony. So, Theta is a blockchain, or it is a cryptocurrency, I should say, that is focusing on media. So they're arguably going to be like the Netflix of blockchain. And so that is a very cool story, especially because, as we know, Jasmine, almost everybody or a majority of the people on their team, their higher level team, like their chair and so on, you can go back and watch my Jasmine video, came from Sony. So they're and Sony's big in IoT. I mean, my PlayStation talks with my Samsung TV very easily. And so, let me see what I have from here. And so, yes, Sony's video description explained that our legacies of cutting-edge visual and spatial realities combine in an incredible 3D optical experience where detailed texture, high contrast, and luminous brightness come together to create a portal to another world. And so that seems like a pretty nice deal for Theta to land. Sony, I don't think they're going anywhere. I mean, the video game system's very popular still. And it seems like they're going to be doing this for virtual reality. So it's, I guess, their version of the Oculus. Very exciting. Big news for Theta. Big news for Internet of Things. And I would even say pretty good for Jasmine. And not directly, but indirectly. And so I'm going to move along here. And we're going to be talking about Elizabeth Warren. It's not just her. There's also a Minnesota senator. Yes, so Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren and Minnesota Senator Tina Smith sent a letter to Fidelity this week asking, among other things, why it didn't heed earlier concerns by the Department of Labor on the issue of including cryptocurrencies in your 401k retirement. So just real quick, Fidelity recently made news because they're offering cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, in their retirement contracts. And in this piece that those senators wrote, they also said, why did Fidelity ignore the Department of Labor's serious concerns regarding the prudence of a fiduciary's decision to expose a 401k plan's participants to direct investments in cryptocurrencies, the senator wrote. These senators, I mean, Elizabeth Warren, oh God. I can't wait to do a video on her. She's a complicated figure, or at least she used to be, but it has not been a good few years for her. The Democratic primary is really where she shot herself in the foot. She really laid out her cards in her hand. But okay, this isn't all about Elizabeth Warren, though. This is because that video is coming. I am itching to do that video. And so that's what this channel is about. It's really giving perspective. These are both Democratic senators. I believe the Democratic Party is definitely going to come around to cryptocurrencies in a big way. We're going to need their voice along with other, not all the Democrats, not all the Republicans, not all the Libertarians, not all the progressives, but the good ones. They're going to get together. We're going to need all of their minds, all of their voices to come up with the right regulations. We need regulations. We don't need Elizabeth Warren regulations, but we don't need non-existent regulations that immediately lead to hyperinflation. So there has to be, there just has to be some type of regulation, and we don't want it to be stock market regulation either, where accredited investors get everything. And so what they're missing in this is the cryptocurrency space is vastly evolving at this point, with so many countries having it on their balance sheet. They're just like, Australian might fail, just like all of our citizens. Australia's going to fall with all of our citizens. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking. It's obviously a great thing to have on their balance sheet. It'd be just like in the 90s, being like, how are you going to add Amazon to these retirement funds? Who even knows what this internet thing's going to do? And so, God, Elizabeth Warren, very, very bearish on Elizabeth Warren. And I'll put and this is from CNN Business. I'm going to put all of these articles in the description, as I always do. Exciting news about that, though. This should be the last 5 things video that's just a close-up of my face. This is because I have been working on getting used to my screen recording software. I have it, I've been using it, and I just didn't want to miss a video this week, so I'm putting this out as probably my last close-up of my face 5 things video. Now it's going to be in the corner, like everybody else's. But I'm going to try to make it special, me. And so, yes, that's that story. More to come on the politics of it. Now let's move on to the Elon Musk / Twitter news. Now this one's very interesting. So Elon Musk said in Twitter, and deleted it subsequently, that he's going to charge people, or actually not people, he said governments and companies, he's going to charge them to use Twitter, to make tweets. And he says his primary concern is that Twitter isn't making the same amount of revenue as other platforms like Facebook. And so that's a solution. Also, that could be a solution for bots, because some of these bots are run by computers, organizations, and they can just spend all day and night creating these accounts, and it's completely free. And so I can see that argument, but it's a slippery slope to start charging people for tweeting. So yeah, right now, I could start off with governments and companies, but what if then he's like, okay, well, it's going to be $2 million for a government or a company. Well, that's going to really shut down a lot of the company's voices. Or if it switches to everyday citizens, then of course that's going to be problematic. If you can only have the people who can afford to pay speak in this public square haven of free speech. And I have a quote here from his tweet. Twitter will always be free for casual users, but maybe a slight cost for commercial or government users. And then in a second tweet, some revenue is better than none. And so, I said it, I think I said it in a previous video, that he's probably going to start charging people. Now, what would be kind of cool is if he did Doge. He's like, okay, 1 Doge for 1 tweet. I mean, Doge is 14 cents. We're all thinking it's probably going to get up to $1 at some point. Oh, and I definitely have videos coming up about Doge. Doge and Warren, I am itching to do those videos. Now that I got the screen recording software, it is coming. Okay, and so could be good for Doge. I would buy in on the making Doge thing, but he has to be very transparent about all of it. Let us know the rules. Say, hey, this isn't going to be $2 million a tweet for companies ever. Just let us know exactly what it is and that it's not going to change. Come up with some good plans. Or if it is going to change, if there's a Twitter DAO, something, I don't know, Doge DAO. I think there's already a Doggy DAO, so I got to say Doge. Now, let's continue on to our final story, which is going to be the sanctions of North Korea. So basically, we are now, the Department of Treasury, I'm just going to read this. It's from Yahoo News. As you may know, the North Koreans hacked Axie Infinity and took tens of millions of dollars. We were able to get some of it back. Some of it we didn't get back. Somebody's in jail for helping the North Koreans do this. I've covered that in a previous story, but so this is just an update on it. So the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets, also known as the OFAC, Foreign Assets Control, sanctioned North Korea-linked crypto mixing service Blender.io as part of their ongoing efforts to freeze the flow of capital from the 620 million exploit of Axie Infinity Ronin network. The hash group discusses the geopolitical implications of cryptocurrency as an oppressive regimes can utilize digital assets and why privacy coins could be a likely regulatory target. So whenever bad guys do bad things, then that can open up the possibility for regulations we don't like. There's cause and effect. You can't blame the effect, or you can't blame the cause, or no, you can't blame the effect for the cause. Like that, there's a White Stripes song. I didn't rob a bank because you made up the law. We made a law not to rob banks after people started doing it. And so try to be a good person. And if bad people do something, and if you're a regulator, don't let that hurt the good. Bad things happen all over the place. They happen on the internet, but the internet's a net positive. And it's going to be this exact similar thing. Exact similar. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say for that story. Now to do a quick market wrap. So we got Bitcoin. Oh, it is. Whew. I think it went down more during this video. Okay, so earlier today, Bitcoin was at 36.8. Now it's at 33.5. So Bitcoin has had a very, very, very rough week. And so this is the lowest it's been in quite some time, since January. And I think a lot of it depends on Russia. So we'll see what happens with that. Ethereum, 2,400. It's holding up okay. Then we have Luna. Luna's been also hit really hard. It's down to $62. Probably a good time to buy. And you know what I say about buying. I think now is a good time to buy. I mean, I was buying on the way up, so you're supposed to buy on the way down. And as you know, I've only been in the market for over a year, not over 2 years. But I've been around for 3 crashes, so that's enough. That's enough. I mean, it's been a heck of a year and a half. So I'm getting the experience. I'm getting it fast. I'm getting it hard. I'm making these videos. I'm watching. I'm getting educated. And as far as what I've done lately, not much. I bought a little bit of Doge. I bought a little bit of Jasmine. Luckily, I actually sold a little bit of Crow. I sold $50 of Crow so I could spend it on my crypto card. And then they announced they're slashing their rewards, their card use rewards, and it plummeted to 30 cents. And I sold it at 42 cents. And so that's about all I'm doing for now. I did make a list of coins I want to narrow, because I have 40 something coins. I'm trying to narrow that down to 15. Okay, well that's gonna be. Well, no, let me give my quick forecast. So what I think is going to happen, a lot of it is based on Russia. I was kind of, everyone's bearish. Bitboy, oh God. So Big Boy was calling for 35K. I mean, it's obviously shot through that, but even when he's bearish, he's still bullish. A lot of people don't know. They're like, Big Boy, why'd you get so bearish? Well, it's still kind of bullish for a bear. And then we got a lot of people calling for 25K. And what I'm hearing a lot of is it's either going to go to 25K or 55K. And I've actually been hearing that for a while, and it's starting to look more and more like 25K whenever we just have all bad news. The Fed said they're going to raise interest rates throughout the rest of the year by 50 basis points every couple of months or so. And, giving that clarity is good. He said they're not going to do 75 basis points. And we'll just have to see what happens with that. I mean, I would think that the clarity and the fact that even if it goes up to 2%, that's still tiny. That's still tiny. Inflation is going to have to go much. I mean, to curb inflation, I think we need to lift some of the sanctions off of these countries that don't deserve heavy sanctions. I mean, if anything, sanction other countries. But this is not about this is more about crypto and politics, not just about politics. And so if we start talking about sanction this country and not sanction that country, it does get a little bit away from crypto. But lifting some sanctions, I think that could definitely help inflation without killing the markets. You know? How about, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be great if we lift some sanctions on, let's say, Iran, who was our number one ally in fighting Iraq and in fighting ISIS? Number one ally. Number one ally, not England. Not Israel. It was Iran fighting ISIS. It was Iran fighting Saddam Hussein, and it was the United States fighting side by side. So I'd say lift some of those sanctions, and then hopefully the war in Russia will die down, and then we can see a big rise in the market. That's going to be the most hopium that I can come up with for a reversal, because everything does look really bearish now, but it's going to turn around. It's going to turn around at some point. And so I am still thinking there is another leg up in this year. Probably not all-time highs, but a life-changing amount that if you're buying dollar cost averaging when it's low, you can sell higher. But nothing's for sure, and so anything you buy, you have to be prepared to hold for at least, I would say, 3 years. I mean, the next Bitcoin's happening is in 2024, and it should go. There should be a rise then. Okay, I want to talk about a lot more. So much is going in my head. I wish I could just talk about it now. Upcoming regulations, possibilities. But this is going to be the end of my 5 things video for today. Please comment. Please like. You guys mean everything to me, my viewers. We are going to make it together. You're getting in early on this channel, and big upgrades coming soon. Thanks so much, lovers and loners. Good night. God bless us all. God save us.